riders, it's Josh from CycleHunters.com. And today we have a gorgeous 2009 Ducati Monster 696. Okay, so right off the bat, gorgeous red Ducati, the Ferrari of motorcycles. But this one is somewhat considered that mid-level, entry-level Ducati. So clearly you can see it has the handlebars. So sitting on this bike right off the bat, it gives you a super comfortable, confident position to start from. So if you are someone that's a beginner and you're taller and maybe you have a little bit of a riding experience behind you, but you don't want the 250, you don't want something super small, you want something that's going to be a proper size bike, well, this one is definitely that bike. And it does it with a ton of style. So this one is primarily all stock. It really just has the frame sliders on here. The Speedy Moto frame sliders. Other than that, exhaust is all stock. Signals and all that. It is all stock. Mirrors, everything. But as we get into this, you can kind of see here, pretty much awesome shape, gorgeous paint, not much for blemishes anywhere, tiny ones here and there, little one right there, probably a stone chip, little one right here. Love the red paint, Ducati Corsa Rosso, blood red, however you want to call it. Just a great looking bike. That's the way you want it. It's the same thing, you know, with a Ferrari. Why would you get a different color? Red is the way to go. You can see how clean these wheels are. Just a great looking bike. So this really is an everyday rider. You can jump on it, thumb the starter, get going down the road. It has ample power to do pretty much whatever you want to do. Even a little bit of hooligan action with some wheelies, if that is your desire. A little bit right there. Not much. A little bit of scuffage. But yeah, you know, you get on the Duck. It sounds awesome when you start it up, which we're going to hear it. If you did wind up getting aftermarket exhaust for it, and you open it up, it's going to sound even cooler for sure. But as a stock machine, you're not freaking out the neighbors. You're going to have lots of fun. It pulls like a freight train for even a 696. You know, you're definitely going to have power to be on the highway, past trucks, that type of a thing. So you don't really have to worry too much about it. But it is that somewhat entry-level bike. And like I said, you can see how clean this thing is. Super clean calipers. It's an air-cooled motor. Like I said, ample horsepower. You know, the clutch pull is not hard and heavy on these. It's a really pretty much an easy bike to ride, especially, like I said, if you've got some riding experience. A super fun bike in the twisties. You have your elbows out, so you have your leverage. It feels like a bike when you sit on it. So it doesn't have that sport bike feel where, you know, your elbows are in. So again, you have a mid control here. You sit upright. You could ride this all day. And I don't doubt you'd pretty much have a smile on your face all day. So let's see here. This also has this. There is a seat underneath here. This is just a cowl. So you remove these. You can pop that off and slide it back on at will. It just looks a whole lot cooler with the rear seat cowl on it. Gives it that racy look. Now these right here are the air intakes with those screens on it. Definitely makes it look cool. Let's see how many miles we're looking at here. Monster as it goes across, 696. 4,601 mile on this bike. So, not a lot of mileage at all. So let's see here. We're going to go left turn signal. That was left front, left rear. Simple controls. Left, right signal rear, right front. Cancel. This also has modes, just like your trip meters, your clock, temperature, ambient temperature, and your mileage. That's all controlled right here. This is your enricher switch, somewhat like a carburetor. Here's your horn. And your high beam and low beam. And we need to turn the bike on for that. Over here, real simple stuff. On-off switch, your starter. And you have your neutral light, your engine light, your signal indicator. You have a gas gauge, so if it gets low, that will, I believe, turn yellow. And then your high beam, low beam, which again, we'll have to turn on for that. But relatively a simple control panel. Your dash, easy to read. But what we've all been waiting for is to hear this. You breathe a Ducati to life. You bring it to life. Say, hey, let's bring her to life. Oh, it's always such a good feeling to twist the throttle of a duck. Although it's a 696, it is a proper bike. It sounds like it. It feels like it. Stature-wise, it's a little smaller. Not a whole lot. But like I said, anybody that's looking to get on a bike, entry level, mid-range, in town around, ripping around, this is your bike. And with a lot of style here. Let's go. That's low beam, high beam, low beam, high beam. You can see right here. Yeah. Don't you want that in your garage? I know I'd like to have it in mine. Oh my goodness, it sounds good. Sounds so good. And like I said, if you get exhaust for this thing and you open that up, it's going to sound amazing. Undertail exhaust, pretty much an iconic Ducati thing. One of their trademarks. They've had that for very, very many years. The Monsters, it had recently switched over that. Oh, I forget what year it was, but in this iteration, they had changed the Monster several times. This configuration, though, the steel trellis frame, the way that the intakes are on the tank, is probably one of my favorites. I love the way the headlight is and how they have it a little bit split in the middle like that. Everything is really compact. You have your upside down forks, much like a sport bike. These are Showa Brembo brakes. It is tough to beat a Ducati. For everyday use, again, this is something that you would definitely get a lot of use out of. Again, you're going to be riding this thing with miles of smiles. It sounds awesome. It pulls awesome off the bottom. It's got that low end torque. You know, you're coming out of a corner. Likes to squirt out of a corner like that. Such a good feeling. A little bit of one right there. That's pretty much it, you know. These are used bikes. And every one of our used bikes gets a 48-point checklist, which also includes the battery tender lead. So we try to make sure that before you get this, it is as best as we can make it, as close to 100% as we can make it, so that when you get it, all you're doing is thumbing the starter, going down the road, and you're just enjoying your ride. Because it really is all about that. This, to me, is a fun maximizer. But again, maybe you like something else, but yes, I'm a big Ducati fan, if you can't tell and you've been watching the videos. But the 48-point checklist, we go through oil and filter are basic things for us. Check the charging system, the battery, You know, we're checking bolts, steering head bearings, all those types of things to ensure that when you get this home, it is as best as it can be. Now, you can clearly see she's nice and clean, limited blemishes, ready to go. So if you are digging the 2009 Ducati Monster 696, give us a call at 717-273-1809. You can see the full list of inventory at cyclehunters.com. You can email us at cyclehunters@gmail.com. We have some financing options available. We have some aftermarket warranties available. We can ship bikes, deliver them as well in some cases. But, you know, it really comes down to what is it that we need to do so that you can get that in your garage, open it up from day one to whenever, and you got a smile on your face, just as big as mine right now. Yep. Gorgeous looking bike. Beautiful machine. Lots of fun. And if you like going into twisties, this will handle them without any kind of a hiccup. Just a smooth running machine. Beautiful bike, guys. So, until the next bike, happy riding.